SK, the best tools on the market.
This truck is ginormous now. Kind of cool, kind of rice. I don't know.
Gotta love cutting up a brand new truck. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am freshly over strep throat. Everything feels great, so I'm actually not sick anymore today, which is amazing. Super happy. I've been taking a lot of medicine, went to the doctor, all that good stuff, but I am fixed, so hooray. Anyways, today we are going to be working on the 2020 Duramax, which is really cool because we are finally going to be able to put on our wheels and tires, hopefully permanently after today. If you guys remember, we dropped a video basically test fitting the new wheels and tires on the truck, and they looked phenomenal. Unfortunately, the clearance was just not there. It was not clearing. We were not able to even turn the wheel even a quarter turn. So that's obviously completely undrivable. But today we got in our leveling kit from BMR Suspension, which is awesome. And I know you guys are probably really confused because I've been looking at this brand name and thinking that it's been McGoffey's, but I actually just got off the phone with Nick over there, and he basically explained to me, he's like, hey, just for future reference, so you don't make yourself look like an idiot on camera, it's actually called McGoy's. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Anyways, so we got our McGoy's leveling kit in, which consists of upper control arms, torsion keys, and a few other things, which I'll show you guys in just a minute. This kit is for the 2020 AT4 Duramax. It's a pre-production kit, which basically means that I am lucky enough to be able to have one of the first ever kits for one of these 2020 trucks from BMR Suspension. And once we get it put on the truck today, I'll be able to show you guys the functionality and everything. But basically the purpose of this, compared to other leveling kits, is that this one is going to be able to help us retain a lot of that ride quality that, you know, the people buy these trucks for. These trucks stock have amazing ride quality. Whenever I got it, I was really mind blown at how great the ride quality actually is, especially compared to my 09 LMM Duramax up there. So I really wanted to maintain a lot of that, and I was kind of hesitant on lifting it because of that, but I wanted to really badly. So I actually reached out to Dirty Max Jack, which huge friend of mine, thank you Jack for this, but he suggested talking to Nick at McGoy. So I called him up and he was like, I got just a solution for you, and here is what they sent. So let's unbox this thing and I'll show you guys. It's really cool. Plain and simple in this box. Here you go. You can see McGoy's, not McGoffey's. We've got a few different things. Nothing overly complicated by any means. We're probably looking at like a 2.5 to 3 hour install today. We've got our new torsion keys here. We've got our shock extenders here. And finally, in our last box here, this is their signature upper control arms for the 2020 trucks that it's going to be releasing very soon. So make sure if you guys are interested in their stuff, go check them out at their website or check them out on Instagram. They've got really good stuff. And as you guys see here, the quality is unreal. The purpose of upgrading your upper control arms is because the stock ones, they actually come straight out, which works great for the factory trucks. But whenever you actually install the torsion keys and lift the front end, you will have incredibly bad ride quality unless you upgrade your upper control arms, because they're, again, angled straight. So whenever you lift the front end of the truck, they actually start drooping down really hard and become at a really steep and sharp angle. Whenever they take these, they actually put them at an angle like you guys can see. At the end of the day, there is only a few components here. I mean, let's look. Torsion keys, shock extenders, upper control arms. That's it. And today I'm going to show you guys how to get literally the best ride quality out of a leveled Duramax like this one. As you guys see, being that we have the front of the truck jacked up, the suspension is drooping, and even with the suspension drooping, you can already see that those upper control arms are pretty stressed because they're angled down so harshly. Sitting on the bump stop right there, that is what creates bad ride. Whenever you use the stock upper control arms and you lift up the front end, this is what happens pretty much every time that you're driving down the road. So whenever you hit a bump, you're slamming into these bump stops, and everybody's constantly confused on why their truck is riding bad after they did the leveling kit. That would be why. So aftermarket upper control arms is the way to go, especially the McGoy's. You just need to take the shock mounts off up there, put your spacers on underneath here, and then that's pretty much it, huh? Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, no, torsion key also, but we'll show you that in a minute. Anyways, guys, I am super excited to be able to see the wheels and tires on the 2020 Duramax. So without further ado, let's hurry up and jump into today's video so that we can get these things put on, hopefully, before we leave to this afternoon. So as you guys see here, we've already got the truck on jack stands. Well, kind of.
We've got it on jacks.
First things first, we're going to take off our nut right here off of the upper ball joint. Ball joint is basically what connects the upper control arm to the spindle here. After we get that off, and these are going to actually separate, we're going to take off our nut right here, which is the upper control arm mount to the frame. Same thing on this side. We're gonna pull this one out, put our new one in, replace all the hardware, and then connect it back here. After that, we're gonna disconnect our shock here, slide it down, put our spacers onto the studs of the shock, slide it back in place, tighten our nuts down, and we're pretty much done in the fender well area. Step numero uno. Yeah, it's probably gonna wanna pop out. I'm gonna hold it with my knee. Take off our upper ball joint. Oh, we're gonna take off the nut up here using our SK wrench. Unfortunately, I know that these SK wrenches are super duper ultra strong, so we're gonna go ahead and do some ghetto stuff right here to get this loose. It just snaps in half. That would be that would be hilarious. Not really. SK would probably immediately email me. No, reality though, these wrenches are incredibly strong. They have been a blessing to us for sure. Until I got this SK stuff, I actually was just using like completely terrible off-brand stuff. Stuff was constantly stripping. It was horrible.
Bushings, dude. You see that? You see the cross weave in there? You know what that does?
No, actually what?
It allows lubrication to slide in there. That's where your grease goes, and all the
Really?
grease actually falls on the insides of those little chamfers and stuff.
Oh, that's smart. Take our nut off of the upper control arm, wiggle it a little bit. If you guys don't know already, but doing anything like this, what we just now took off, this right here is your complete camber alignment bolt. We basically just completely destroyed the alignment on this truck, obviously, but we're replacing all the suspension parts. So basically what you're doing is this here is a cammed little, what do you even call these? I can't remember what you call this particular piece though. I know it's a cam, but I guess you'd call it a cam bolt, whatever. Anyways, this is a cam bolt. And what it does is there's actually a stud right here welded onto the frame. And basically you can loosen this nut, and whenever you turn it, either way, as you guys see, that stud is right here. So what it's gonna do is it's actually gonna pull that upper control arm either in or push it back out, which is really cool. And it helps with obviously dialing in camber on these vehicles, front ends, things like that. But key thing, like I said, is just remember that you put these back in correctly and you get it aligned directly after, because whenever you do any kind of lift or level, it completely screws everything up. So
SK, the best tools on the market.
let me finish off taking off. Jesus, come on. Anyways, let me finish taking off this side, and then we're gonna get this upper control arm out the way. Give her a little wiggle and a tug, and there we go. This is a basically brand new upper control arm with like 3,000 miles on it, and it's coming out, so
eBay it goes.
eBay it goes. So this is the new upper control arm from Magooies, like I was saying. Doug's already gone ahead and inserted our bushings into here and also inserted our steel collars. Next thing that we're gonna do is just go ahead and slide this back in place where the stock one came out. Now I need to get the bolt put in and get it all aligned. 18 there. There we go. Cool. Oh, nice. I did it. Huh. I'm gonna go ahead and take these shocks off so that way we can get the spacers put in at the top of the shock struts. Then after that, we'll be able to tighten the shock back down and finish up the upper control arm. Somehow figure out a way to compress our shock here, which I've got a pry bar, so let's try this and see if we can use that to do it. Yep, there we go, perfect. Now we're gonna have to get under here and compress it down enough and out like so. Cool. As you guys see here, we've got our little spacer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide it on that side, pull it back down, and now that we've got the two spacers in place, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull it down, and I'm gonna look in there, and we're gonna line it back up and let it go ahead and naturally kind of seat itself back in place. Coming out, the studs are going straight up into place with the spacers, and there we go. Now we're gonna take our new nuts here. We're gonna go ahead and tighten these down right in place of where these factory ones went. So
What's the torque specs on that, bro?
about that.
Good job, I like it.
Thank you. Okay, so as of right now, we've got these two tightened up with the spacers. We've got our bolts placed in each upper control arm mount right here. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna lift this up and I'm gonna grab our giant heavy spindle here, put our castle nut on. I'm not gonna tighten it down just yet. This alignment's gonna be real bad.
Would you like a present, sir?
You already got the stock key out?
Yeah.
Holy crap. So what's the differences between the two? Can you notice or no?
Yeah, you see this? They look the same to the eye, but whenever you actually take the hole right here and align it,
Oh,
see that?
and align that. All right, guys, we just now got this entire side wrapped up. We got the wheel and tire put back on this side, obviously the stock one. Next up, what we're gonna do is to maintain our really good ride quality. We're gonna measure from the top of the tire to the fender, the bottom of the fender right here. Like Doug just now said, we're at 12.5 inches. Now what we're gonna do is, now that we've measured what is called the droop, the distance between the tire and the fender while the suspension is completely unloaded and the tires are just drooping. And basically what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna lower the truck down now to about 10.5 inches because you want 2 inches of optimal travel between the droop angle and whenever it's sitting. And we're gonna basically lower each one of the torsion keys down until it is sitting right at about 10.5 inches. And that is gonna give us our perfect ride quality while leveling the truck. So we measured 12.5 on the driver's side. We're gonna measure the passenger side. Theoretically, should be about the same. Yep, 12.5. So we did it right. Woo! We're gonna back it up, pull it forward, let the suspension settle, measure it again. Once it's settled, then we'll figure out how much we need to drop our torsion keys, because like I said, we have them cranked all the way up now. Okay, so now, holy crap. It is so much taller. That is freaking huge. This truck is ginormous now. At this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen both torsion keys to drop the front of the truck down to about 10.5 inches, then pull it forward and backwards, measure it again, and then once we measure the front and the back to make sure they're both perfect, we're done. Magui's leveling kit actually is not that bad of an install. It's really not bad at all. All right, go ahead, I'm ready. Oh yeah. We're at 11.25 right now. Okay. A little bit more. All right, right there. Let's try that. That's 10 3/4. And then we can go to the other side, and we're gonna do the same thing and drop it to about 10 3/4. 11. Little tiny bit more. 10 3/4 right there. Okay, so that's 10 3/4 up front. Let's measure the rear just out of curiosity. So the rears are actually only at 9. Jesus, dude, this thing is huge. All right, so same thing, forward and backwards. Like 10 and an 8. All right, that's good. Honestly, that was really easy. That's pretty much a wrap as far as the level kit goes. At this point, what we can do, if you want, we can go ahead and put those wheels on. We're just gonna have to trim right here a little bit down, and then right here a little bit. And they said after that, apparently, we should be able to clear just fine. I'm sure half of the people in here will probably make fun of me right now, but it's okay. In here, we've got some nice, fancy matte black extended spike lug nuts. Kind of cool, kind of nice. I don't know. I've never had spike lug nuts literally on anything, but Doug's got them on like every car that he has, and they look kind of cool. So whenever we put the chrome ones on, I kind of halfway like the look. I just don't obviously like the chrome. So I figure with the new wheels and with these, the matte black ones, maybe it'll look good. I don't know. If not, I'll go back to some regular lug nuts, but it's worth a shot, right? Jesus, these things are huge, dude. I do know that we're gonna have to do a little bit of trimming to get these to actually tuck and fit properly, but I was told that it's not that much. So hopefully it's not gonna be too bad.
I'm holding the camera literally eye level. This is what I see. Level kit with the wheels and tires. Let's see what this thing looks like. Oh yeah, it's gonna clear them. It's gonna clear them. Holy shit. Bruh, this thing pretty big still. Look, if we trim, whenever we cut right here, just that little piece, it's gonna clear.
No idea, honestly, but I think. I will say though, the truck is gonna look sick, whether they clear or not. Oh, not in the face. Plop. It's already got the level kit, so like the wheels ain't coming back off. It's just gonna get trimmed to make them fit. We're hitting something. Yep, so as you guys see, we just now turned it, and you can perfectly see where it's rubbing. It's just barely touching. So if we take right here at this corner and angle down like that from basically this point to this point and make a straight line, we'll be clear. Let's check on the passenger side, see the inside. Yeah, same thing over here like I was just now talking about. It's having problems right here, but if we cut out right there, we should be completely perfect and tucked. Lug nuts actually look surprisingly good. I really like them. I really like them a lot. Anyways, Doug's got his cutoff wheel over here. Gotta love cutting up a brand new truck. Damn, son. That actually looks really good. You should be an artist, man. You got a straight hand. Okay, so basically now, instead of the plastic piece just going straight down, we've cut it to where it's at least at an angle, so that way the tire will have a lot easier time clearing. That should have no problem right there. So now what I'm gonna do, he's already went ahead and cut the other side, and we just now cut this side, so I'm gonna turn the wheel to the left now, and we're gonna see if we have clearance issues or not, and we'll finish adjusting from there. But I believe we should be good. Okay, so we cut one little piece just to test it out and see if it was gonna clear. It is not still, so we're probably gonna have to get a little bit more aggressive with it and cut a little bit more out. Luckily, this little piece down here is replaceable for very cheap if we do happen to mess it up, so no big deal, no worries. Plus, I've actually been wanting to get paint matched fenders anyways. If we get these that are paint matched, it actually comes with the new piece down here that we'll have a good template to run off of with this plastic one anyways, so that'll be cool. Okay, well look, we got the wheels and everything on. Whenever I talked to a guy that I saw on Instagram who had a similar-ish setup on a 2020 with 35s on a -44 offset, he was like,
oh dude, it's just a little bit of trimming.
Well, 2 hours later, we are still cutting. Can you see how bad the fender liner is hitting over here? And it's like, it comes straight off the fender and just goes straight across. I got this fender liner moved way out of the way. So we've got like an additional 4 inches up front of clearance. And back here, as you guys see, there's like gigantic amounts of room back there now. And there's a hole in my pocket and I just dropped my phone to my knee again. Come on, dude.
You don't learn?
Well, look, it's like there's just like a hole I can't tell which one's the pocket. Anyways though, we got plenty of clearance back here. It required, honestly, a lot more than I was kind of hoping for, but between me and Doug, we definitely got it figured out. As you guys see back here, there is a metal bracket. We actually had to take the plastic piece out and modify it to make it fit and look relatively nice.
It used to be like,
that used to be one piece like that.
So split it, cut it, or a little edge to it there.
So that is the plan for what we're gonna do with the other side. So the other side's actually not finished. But if you can see in here, we've basically got to cut the majority of this little fender. This is actually the actual fender itself, but the lower portion. This side is still in progress, but we did just finish up the other side. That's why I started videoing to show you guys. It might look kind of jank on the other side, but after we got it all back together on this side, it looks really, really good. Essentially, we got everything to clear. And right now, our modified little bracket that Doug was just now showing you guys, we've got it setting with some epoxy right there with a new bracket that we made. Once we attach our lower little skirt, it's gonna basically cover up all these imperfections and look completely original again, but everything on the fender liner is just gonna be moved back like 4 to 5 inches. And that's how we got this much clearance with 35s on this truck with only a level kit. Even up front, tons and tons of clearance now on the wheel well area. It looks really, really good. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, finish that one up. And once the lower fender portion of this side tacks, we'll put that splash shield back up in place, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like completely finished. But so far, so good. It just required a lot more cutting than I expected. How long has it been?
Like 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours later, and we got it. Woo! Clear, clear, go back. All right, hold it right there, hang on, go back a little bit to the left, right there. See, even right here where it looks like it's actually really close, hang on, don't move, I'm about to stick my hand in there. You can actually, it's actually a lot more than what you think. It's just, for some reason, from this particular angle, it looks like it's about to rub, but it actually is very clear.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's swole. Doug is 6'3". It's hard to explain how big the truck is until you see Doug being 6'3" standing next to it. Anyways, though, we came to the gas station real quick to come get some drinks because it's late at night. We actually ran out of drinks at the shop, so we're at the gas station, and I figured I'd top off the truck, and we were gonna look at it under the lights and everything since it is dark, unfortunately, but it looks freaking phenomenal. Really, really good. We actually managed to cut everything perfect and get it all to fit. Tested it out, and it rides amazing. We turned full lock both ways. There's no rubbing at all on this side. The only spot that we're rubbing at on this side is in the front right here somewhere, and I'm not sure exactly where, but I think it's probably
right
that little end. Yeah, probably just need to trim that little end. But
and it was really only when we were coming out of a hill backwards.
Yeah. So all in all, though, the truck is it's so amazing. The ride quality on the way here was amazing, like they told me it would be. Really, no sacrifices in ride quality, hardly at all. And my other Duramax is leveled as well, just not leveled the proper way apparently, because this one here rides phenomenal compared to my other truck. And I'm guessing maybe whoever installed the leveling kit on that last truck maybe messed it up, because it wasn't actually me. I didn't have lifts at the time to be able to do it, or a jack that was strong enough to be able to do it. So fortunately though, this one we got to do on our own, and it turned out sick. So that is pretty much the finished product. The front is actually a little bit higher. It's about a ½ inch or so, maybe an inch higher than the rear is. So we're gonna have to get a block, lift block to kind of lift up the back end. And then also, as you guys know, I've been talking about wanting to get bags for the rear anyways, because we tow so much with this truck and it will help with towing a ton. So it's actually probably going to end up probably next week getting another inch in the rear. So it'll be a pretty damn tall truck. Overall though, I am incredibly happy with this thing. Please go check out BMR Suspension. It is worth it. If you cannot tell right here, the truck looks amazing. Seriously rides like a Cadillac. Well, actually it rides like a 2020 AT4, and it did not lose any of the ride quality at all by doing this. So I'm very satisfied, very satisfied. We're tucking 35s under a stock body truck, kinda, with just a leveling kit. We just had to do minor trimming. It looks really good, seriously. Like even the parts where we trimmed, we managed to get it to look very good. It does not look bad by any means or any kind of goofy. So I'm pretty proud of it. What do you think? Alright, so anyways guys, that is probably going to be a wrap for today's video. I'm happy to say that today was one of the first days in a really long time that we had something work out perfectly with pretty much no struggles at all or no real issues. So anyways, that is going to be a wrap for today's video. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. There are people staring at me because I'm holding a camera, looking at it in the parking lot of a gas station. So I'm going to go ahead and go. So I will see you guys next video.
Running on, running on, that's right. Tell these bitches please stay in your lane, move along. I take a trip across the pond just to flex. Papa saying, yeah, we got a long flight home. Say she got a man, but that ring is gone. She my greatest fan, play this song, she sing along. Bounce that ass.